And I hope that you all had a fabulous weekend and either got to spend some time being productive on some projects or got to spend some time relaxing and spending time with family, whether it was in person or virtually. And as we get started in our comfortable seated position, as always, that can be any comfortable seated position that works best for you. So if the legs are long, if the legs are folded in, anything here is fabulous as we get going. We are going to start off this evening's practice with just our regular scan of the body. So once you've found that comfortable seated position, starting from the top of the head, moving down all the way through the muscles in the face, the shoulders, the torso, the core, down through the legs. And as usual, making sure that that's without any judgment. So you're just taking this scan to notice how you're feeling, to notice where you're starting, and to be able to give yourself that little bit of extra leeway as we get going. Once you've noticed those points of tension, with these next couple of deep breaths, I invite you to either find any range of motion that may feel good, or with that exhale, focusing just a little bit extra on releasing those points of tension. So either of those two options is fabulous if you'd like to find that big lateral bend, if you'd like to find a spinal twist, if you'd like to find a fold forward or a roll of the head and the neck, or something that's a little bit different, but you know will feel particularly good as we get going this evening. We've got about 4 more nice deep breaths here. So if you've chosen a range of motion, finding that. If you've chosen to stay in center, finding those exhales to find that release and that relaxation of those points of tension. About 2 more nice deep breaths here. After that last one, just go ahead and bring it on back to center from wherever you were, whatever range of motion you found. And then I do want to focus for a moment just on the breath. And I know throughout the day, that's one of the things that I notice when I get stressed. My breath gets a little shallow. And so it's nice to take a couple of moments to center and focus on that nice deep breathing. And I kind of want to focus a little bit today on some belly breathing. So I want to invite you to take one hand, place it right on the belly, and the other hand and place it right on the chest. And as we inhale, I want you to trail the breath down through the mouth, through the chest, into the belly. So as you inhale, I want you to first feel that expansion of the chest so that one hand on the top lifts just slightly, and then really allow the belly to expand, pull open for that extra air. As you exhale, doing it in reverse. So pressing through the belly first, and then allowing the chest to collapse just slightly towards the center of your body. So finding that, inhale to expand, exhale to release. A couple of times here, just keep moving with that. Feeling as the air flows in and out, allowing for that expansion where you might not normally. Go ahead and take 2 more nice deep breaths there. Last one, big inhale and exhale. After you've found that big exhale, you can go ahead and release those arms. We're going to get moving with our initial couple of ranges of motion. So let's start from the top of the head. We'll roll out the head and the neck. So with an inhale, find that super long spine. With your exhale, go ahead and drop the chin to the chest, and then just easy in our half circle side to side, bringing that right ear towards that right shoulder, opening up through the left side of the neck, and then back through center over to that left ear towards the left shoulder. A couple of times side to side here. If it feels good to find that hold in one direction or the other, you always can. So if that right ear is held towards that right shoulder, maybe that left side of the neck feels a little bit tense, maybe you take that left hand and bring it just slightly around behind the back to open up a little bit deeper into that stretch. If that doesn't feel quite right, feel free to keep moving the head side to side. If you found that hold, I will let you know when to switch in just a moment. And here's that opportunity with that next exhale. Release that left hand, bring the head back to center. And then the left ear comes towards left shoulder. Again, you can just keep it moving here. If you'd like that little bit deeper of a stretch, that right hand comes around behind the back, opening up just slightly more through the right side of the neck. our next exhale, go ahead and release that chin back to the chest, whether you were moving or holding. And then that inhale brings that head back up long to center. Do a couple nice big shoulder rolls, pulling the shoulders up towards the ears and then down and back. Making sure, oh, I lost my Wi-Fi. Here into our spinal twists. Find that nice big inhale, find that super long spine up through center. And then that exhale takes you over in one direction or the other, taking that opposite side hand around to the outside of the leg. If those legs are long, you can always find that hand on the outside of those long legs. If you have them folded in, you can bring it to the outside of that knee. And let's just flow nice and easy side to side. That inhale brings us through center. The arms can stay low or they can come up nice and long. And the exhale brings us to that other side. Same thing with those legs. If they're still long, they can stay long. And then just go ahead and keep moving with that flow. Nice big inhales through center and big exhales side to side. Again, if it's more comfortable to keep the arms low here, you're totally welcome to. Just tracking them past the knees and over in that other direction. Fabulous. Give me 2 or 3 more nice deep breaths. So just making sure that you hit that second side that last time. So I've got 2. If you need 3, go ahead and take the extra time for that third. And then when you're ready, after you finish those last 2 or 3, just go ahead and find that last big inhale to bring you right back to center. All right, fabulous. We're going to do a couple more stretches. We're going to hit the lower body up next. So I'm going to go ahead and take my legs from cross to uncross them and take them out just long together in front of me. We'll start with just a nice easy forward fold. So if you need a little bend through those knees, if the hamstrings are a little tight today, please feel free to keep that bend in those knees. We're going to find our big inhale for that long spine. Fingertips point out long in front and then hinge forward at the hips. Keep that long spine for as far as you can down towards those toes. And then that next big exhale releases, rounds out through the spine, opens up, fingertips towards the toes or towards the shins, wherever you can reach to here, and let the head and shoulders release and relax. We're going to find that range of motion one more time before we change it up. So your next inhale brings you up to that nice long spine. Seated up nice and tall. You can point those fingertips forward or trail them down the legs. Exhale, fold those forward, keep the long spine to the very edge of that range of motion. When you get to the edge, go ahead and exhale to release into it. Open up through the shoulders. Let the head and neck release and relax. Next inhale rolls us back up to that nice long spine. We're going to change it up from here. We're going to take that right leg. We're going to pull the sole of the foot to that inner thigh. I'm keeping my left leg pointed right down center for now. So finding one more time that inhale to that long spine, fingertips out towards the toes. Our exhale folds us forward. Finding that nice big stretch through the hamstring there on that left side. With that next exhale, go ahead and round out into the spine, open up through the shoulder blades and find this here. Let's find a spinal twist from here. So I have my left leg out long. I'm going to take my right hand and bring it around to the outside of my left ankle. Then I'm going to take my left hand and I'm going to open it up towards the side of the room. So spinal twist with a little bit of support through the outside of that leg, trying to keep the spine a little bit long so not rounding out through the lower back. And then that next exhale brings that left hand back down and rolls us up to that nice long spine. We're going to find another spinal twist that's going to be in that opposite direction. Take this right leg, cross it over that left leg. Inhale for our long spine, extend that left arm up towards the ceiling, and then bring it around to the outside of that right knee. Opening up that other arm to those opposite shoulders, or sorry, the other arm to the back wall, those shoulders out to the side. Taking a moment to find that nice exhale and settle into this final twist. Just a second here. There we go. All righty. Next exhale, go ahead and release that arm, bring it back to center. And from here, we're going to find our piriformis stretch, our figure 4. So I'm going to take my left leg, bend at that knee, plant that foot. My right ankle is still crossed over my left knee. Couple options here. You can find that long spine and lean into it, or you can roll it on backwards and interlace those fingers underneath that left knee. So take your option there. Either of those two is fabulous. Thinking about opening up that knee towards that opposite wall. And if you're sitting up tall, try and keep that long spine and just kind of fold forward towards the knee a little bit to find that deeper stretch. If you rolled it on down onto your back, go ahead and bring it on up to seated. Let's all go ahead and release that leg and take both legs out long in front. We're just going to hit that other side here. So that inhale finds our long spine. Both legs are long. We've got our fold forward, so hinge it forward at the hips. Keep the long spine as far as you can, and then exhale to round into it and release. Open up through the shoulder blades, let the head and neck release. We're just going to do this one time before we switch up those sides. Next inhale rolls us up to that nice long spine. Simultaneously, let's pull that left foot in so that the sole of the foot meets the inner thigh. We've got our fold forward here first. So our inhale to our long spine, fingertips out, hinge it forward, take it as far forward as you can, and then round into it and release. Find that nice big stretch. From here, our first spinal twist takes that left arm to the outside of that right leg, takes that right arm and opens it up towards that opposite wall. For our nice big spinal twist, try and find a little bit longer of a spine than this one if you can. So not letting that lower back round out. Our next exhale, go ahead and pull that left hand back in, or right hand back in, excuse me. And then inhale to sit it up nice and tall. Next spinal twist takes that left leg and crosses it over the right. Take that right arm up towards the ceiling, and then exhale to bring it around to the outside of that left knee and open up that left arm towards that side wall, those shoulders towards that side wall. Once again, go ahead and take a nice deep exhale into this spinal twist. And go ahead and release that back to center. We've got that piriformis figure 4 on this second side. So go ahead and bend that left or that right knee. Got my sides all mixed up today. Right knee, we're in that figure 4. Once again, same two options. You can sit it up nice and tall with that long spine, or you can roll it on back and interlace those fingers underneath that knee. So take a second, choose one of those options, pressing the left knee towards the opposite wall. Fabulous. If you rolled it on back, go ahead and sit it on up. And then let's all go ahead and release that leg, bring it on down. And then we're going to bring it over to hands and knees. So take your time, make that transition. We're going to get ready to get moving here and get into our first flow. When you get to hands and knees, as usual, take a second, make sure that the wrists are either right under the shoulders or just slightly out in front. The knees are right underneath the hips. And let's go right into our cat and cow. So like I said, take your time with that transition, but when you reach that position, go ahead and find that inhale to press the belly towards the floor and lift the chin and the hips. To find that exhale to round out the spine towards the ceiling, tuck the hips underneath and the chin towards the chest. A couple times with the pace of your own breath here. Fabulous. Find 3 more nice deep breaths in this cat and cow for me. Just getting that spine nice and warmed up. Last one, big inhale and exhale, and then go ahead and bring it on back to center, that nice long neutral spine. From there, we've got one final spinal twist. We're going to hit our active spinal twist here. So I want you to take that right hand, lift it up towards the ceiling, open up through the chest. We're going to flow a couple times here. So with that exhale, I want you to bring it almost all the way down. We're threading it underneath, not quite placing the shoulder onto the floor and releasing, but just moving a couple times there just like that. So that inhale opens the right fingertips towards the ceiling. The exhale brings us almost all the way down and through. A couple times, keep it moving. Keep that spinal twist going both directions. 2 more just like that. Our big inhale opens us up. Our exhale brings us down and through. And on that last one, we're going to take that pause on the exhale. So one more inhale brings us up towards the ceiling, and our exhale takes us all the way down, places that right shoulder down onto the floor, leaves those hips up nice and high. Options for that left arm include taking it out long, leaving it right where it is, or finding our half bind, fingertips up towards the ceiling, palm faces behind you, bend at the elbow to open those shoulders towards that left wall. Taking that moment there to find any of those options. And if you found that half bind, go ahead and take that next inhale to lengthen the arm towards the ceiling, place it down. If you pulled that arm out long, go ahead, pull it in, put pressure through the left hand, bring that right hand back underneath the right shoulder. Same thing, other side. Our inhale takes the left fingertips up towards the ceiling, and our exhale brings it down and through, almost all the way to the ground. So we've got that flow a couple of times. inhale to open up. Exhale to bring it down. Keeping that going. Fabulous, you guys. Give me 2 more of those, just like that. And at the end of that second one, we're going to find that little hold. So our inhale takes us up. Our exhale brings us down. And last time, that inhale takes it up. And then we're going to place that left shoulder down onto the mat. Take that left arm out long. And then same 3 options. That right arm can stay where it is. You can extend out nice and long. Or you can take it up towards the ceiling. Point that hand behind, or point that palm behind. And bend at the elbow and bring it around behind the back. So just take this moment here. Find that nice big inhale and exhale. And if you found that half bind, that next inhale takes that arm up towards the ceiling, plants it down. Everyone that has that arm out long here, go ahead and pull it in under the shoulder, and then bring that left hand under that left shoulder. From here, let's transition to our downward facing dog. Curl those toes under, press those hips up and back. Take that nice big stretch through the backs of those legs. So give yourself that leeway if you needed a nice bend in those knees. Alternate pressing those heels down, or alternate pressing both heels up and then both heels down, whatever feels good here. Go ahead and take a moment, finding that nice stretch through that downward facing dog. This is where we're going to start our first flow of the evening. So just getting those stretches out of the way, maybe nice and slow, shaking the head yes or no. All right, if you found any kind of alternating pedal, just go ahead and bring those heels to nice and even with each other. We're nice in that center downward facing dog. Let's find a 3-legged dog with that left leg. Take it up and back, nice and long. Find that stretch through the right leg on the floor. And then we're going to take it to our half mountain climber for just a moment here. So shift the shoulders out over the wrist, the hips come low, and the knee comes between the elbows. From here, we're going to take it one more time up into our 3-legged dog. So press those hips up and back. Foot goes up towards that ceiling. And then we're going to place this left knee down underneath the left hip. So bringing it out into that high plank position and placing the left knee down. Now, this is going to prep us for that that side plank. There we go. Those were words. So go ahead and turn that left foot out to face that short edge of the mat. So it's towards the left side of my mat here. That right inside of the foot comes down, and then we open up that right arm towards the ceiling. So we're in this kind of modified side plank here. Option to take this up a notch by just lifting that bottom knee up off of the floor and just finding this extended side plank. Either of these 2 options is fabulous. We've got 3, 2, next exhale, places that right hand down and takes that left leg up and back for that 3-legged dog one more time. We've got our half mountain climber one more time. So take it out long. And then when it comes back, bring it right into that downward facing dog. So plant the left down next to the right in that down dog. We're going to inchworm those hands into those feet. So walking them backwards, using those shoulders, keeping the spine nice and long until you're flat on those feet. Bring them nice and close together. We're using this to go into our chair. So our inhale sweeps the arms up, sinks the hips back. Chair pose. And we're going to transition this to our eagle. So we're going to stand up just halfway. We're going to lift that left foot up off of the floor, cross it over that right knee, and just sink into that right leg just slightly. So this is our first time. Doesn't need to be super deep. I want you to keep those arms nice and long. Little tiny hold. And then our inhale stands us up, places that left foot down next to the right, and folds us forward. Go ahead and walk it out nice and long to that high plank position. Take those hips up and back, downward facing dog. 3-legged dog one final time with that left leg. Take it up and back nice and long. Bend the right knee, sweep the left leg forward, plant it down. From here, crescent lunge. Find your balance, sweep those arms up, sink into that left knee. Find that nice long torso. Warrior 2, turn the right heel down, open the arms up. Nice and long from fingertip to fingertip, keeping that core nice and strong. Flip the front palm, lift it up and back. Peace. Stretch through the front side of the body. Exhale, brings it back out to center. From here, we're going to lengthen that front leg, that left leg. Our right toes are pointed out either at a 45-degree angle or out towards the side of the mat. So we're going to bring this into our side lunge. So I want you to now keep that left leg long, lift those toes up, and bend that right knee. So you're opening into just a nice side lunge, sitting those hips back. If you need to kind of adjust a little bit, maybe you keep those toes down for a moment until you find your balance and lift them up. Fabulous. We're going to take it back to our warrior two. So lengthen the right leg, bend the left knee, open those arms up. Let's cartwheel it down. Left hand, right heel. We've got our twist here. So right hand comes down, left arm opens up. Exhale, brings that hand back down. We're going to step the right forward to meet the left. Forward fold. From here, let's go ahead and stand it up. So inhale to our extended mountain. We've got a lateral stretch in each direction. So right hand comes down towards your side, left arm comes up over top. Inhale brings us through center. Exhale to that second side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, swan dives us forward, forward fold. Bend those knees, plant those hands, step it back nice and long, downward facing dog. All righty, let's take it to that other side. Right foot up and back, three-legged dog. Half mountain climber back to that three-legged dog. Bend that knee, bring it out in between those elbows, bring the hips low, and then press it up and back one more time. From here, we're going to take it out into that side plank. So go ahead and shift it down, set that right knee down. The right foot's going to turn towards the outside of the mat. Inside of the left foot comes down, left arm opens up. Option to take this up a notch by lifting that bottom leg off of the floor. We've got 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and set that left hand down. Our three-legged dog brings us up and back one more time. So press that right foot up and back, and then plant that right foot down next to the left. Go ahead and inchworm it in. Fingertips towards the toes. So walking back to the back of the mat. We've got our chair pose when we get there. So our next inhale sweeps those arms up, sinks those hips back. Fabulous. Fabulous. Keep that spine nice and long. Let's use this to transition to our eagle. That right leg this time is going to lift as we stand up halfway. Cross it over the left, and then just bend that knee as far as you're comfortable finding that balance. So maybe it's just an inch. Maybe you bend a little bit deeper into it, whatever works for you here. Next inhale, go ahead and stand it on up, unlace, place that right foot down next to the left, fold it forward. Let's inchworm it back out nice and long into that high plank position. And then press those hips up and back, downward facing dog. We've got our final three-legged dog on this side for this first round. Right foot up and back, bend that left knee, sweep that right foot forward. Plant it down, find your balance. Inhale, sweep the arms up into our crescent. Fabulous. Warrior two, turn the left heel down, open the arms up. Reverse it, flip the front palm, lift it into our peaceful. Take it back out to our regular warrior two. We're going to transition to that side lunge. So we're lengthening our right leg here. We're going to bend that left knee, sink those hips back, and then lift those right toes. So kind of a little bit of a challenging transition on that one. That's okay, that's what we're here for. Let's take it back to that warrior two. So we're lengthening that left leg, we're bending that right knee, we're lengthening those arms, we're cartwheeling it down. Right hand, left heel. From here, spinal twist, left hand stays down, right arm opens up. Exhale, brings it back down. Step the left forward to meet the right, forward fold. Our next inhale rolls us all the way up, extended mountain. We've got our lateral stretch in each direction. So when you get to the top, that next exhale takes that right hand down, that left arm up over top. Our inhale comes through center, same thing, other side. Left hand down, right arm up. Inhale back to center, exhale, fold it forward. Fabulous. When you get there, take a moment if you need to, and then we're going to step it back into that downward facing dog. So take those feet back nice and long, press those hips up and back. All right, now I'm going to take that side plank up just a half notch for this round. So if you'd like to join me in that, you can. If you'd like to do it the same way that we did before with the knee down to start, you are also welcome to do that. Let's start here with our left leg, three-legged dog. Press that foot up and back. Out to that half mountain climber. Now this is where it changes. So we're bringing the knee out between the elbows. From here, we're going to cross that left leg underneath the right. We're going to just hook those toes right around, and then we're going to go right from here into our side plank. So the inside of that right foot's going to come down, and that right arm is going to come up. So that's a real challenge there. If you need to set that left knee down, that is totally fine. From here, we've got our hold for 3, 2, 1. Take that right hand down, turn those toes back underneath. Left leg goes up and back, three-legged dog, and then place that left down next to the right. We're walking those fingertips back towards the toes, inchworming back to that forward fold. From there, we've got our chair pose, so sweeping those arms up, sinking those hips back. Fabulous, fabulous. We've got that eagle. So lifting that left leg off of the floor, crossing it over that right knee, sinking into those hips just a little bit or a lot, depending on where you're at. If you'd like to take this up a notch, that left leg is over top, so the left arm can come underneath to take those arms into it. Next inhale, stands us up tall, releases that left leg, places it next to the right, swan dives forward, forward fold, inchworm it back out to that high plank position. Press those hips up and back, downward facing dog. Final three-legged dog on the left for this round. Foot goes up and back. Bend the right knee, sweep the left leg forward, plant it down. Crescent lunge, sweeps the arms up, sinks into that left knee. Warrior two, turns the right heel down, opens the arms up. Let's reverse it, peaceful. Flip the front palm, lift it up and back. Exhale brings us back out to that warrior two. We've got that side lunge, so lengthen the left leg, bend into the right knee, lift those left toes. Nice, fabulous, fabulous. Transition back to that warrior two. Bend the left leg, lengthen the right leg, lengthen those arms. From here, we're cartwheeling down. Left hand, right heel. Spinal twist when we get here. Right hand stays down, left arm opens up. Exhale brings that back down to the mat. Step the right forward to meet the left, forward fold. Next inhale rolls us all the way up, extended mountain. Lateral stretch in each direction. Right hand comes down, left arm comes up over top. Inhale through center. Left arm comes down, right arm comes up over top. Inhale through center. Fold it forward, forward fold. When you get to the bottom, bend those knees, plant those hands, step it back into our downward facing dog. Adding on here, option to find that low flow one time through. If you prefer, you can stay in down dog or you can rest in child's pose. If you're joining me in that low flow, we're floating the shoulders out over the wrists. High to low through our chaturanga, toes or knees is
keep the elbows nice and close, and then press the chest up into that upward facing dog or cobra. Turn those toes over, hips up and back, downward facing dog. If you found that child's pose, go ahead and meet us in that down dog. Let's switch to that right side. So right foot comes up and back nice and long into our three-legged dog.
Let's go ahead and bring it out to that half mountain climber. So again, you can find that first option where we set that knee down, or you can cross this right leg underneath the left, turn the left heel down so the inside of the foot meets the mat, and open up through that left arm into that side plank. Now, if that knee is down, you turn it out to face, and you still found that side plank. Next, exhale, pulls it back down, turns those toes underneath, and then presses up and back into our three-legged dog, placing that right foot down next to the left, meeting us in that downward facing dog. Here we go. Let's walk those fingertips towards the toes into our forward fold. So our inchworm takes us back. We've got that chair pose. Sweep the arms up, sink the hips back when you get there. Fabulous. Eagle here. So right leg lifts, crosses it over top of that left knee. Again, option to take that right arm underneath if you'd like to, and you can find however much of a bend through that left knee you need for your balance. Keep the core nice and strong. Nice, you guys look awesome. Inhale stands us up, releases that leg, places it down next to the left, forward fold. Awesome work, you guys. Go ahead and inchworm it back out to that high plank position. When you get there, hips go up and back, downward facing dog. Last time, three-legged dog on that right leg for this round. Press it up and back, bend through that left knee, sweep the right leg forward, plant it down. Strengthen through the core. When you're ready, find your balance, sweep up, crescent lunge. Fabulous. Let's go into that warrior two. Turn the left heel down, open the arms. Peaceful. Flip the front palm, lift it up and back. Bring it back out to centered. Warrior two. Side lunge from here. Lengthen that right leg. Lift those right toes as you bend into that left knee. Nice. Fabulous. Fabulous. Transition back to that warrior two. Bend the right leg. Lengthen the left knee. Open those arms up. Let's cartwheel it down. Right hand, left heel. Spinal twist. That left hand stays down. That right arm opens up. Stacking those shoulders. Exhale brings it back down. From here, let's step that left foot forward to meet the right, forward fold. Go ahead and roll it all the way up, extended mountain. When you get to the top, we've got those lateral bends. So right hand comes down, left arm comes up over top, nice big stretch. Same thing through center, other side. Left hand comes down, right arm comes up over top. And back to center, big exhale, swan dives us forward, forward fold. Awesome, go ahead and plant those hands, step it back into that downward facing dog. When you get there, option to stay here, option to drop those knees into child's pose, or option to find that low flow. Any of those is fabulous. If you're finding that low flow, go ahead and join me, floating those shoulders out over those wrists. Toes or knees, we lower through chaturanga. Press the chest up into cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, turns the toes over, hips up and back, downward facing dog. If you found that child's pose, go ahead and join us. We've got one more quick time through. We've got a couple minutes left in this first meeting. So go ahead and take that left foot up and back, three-legged dog. Half mountain climber brings that knee out in between those elbows. You can cross under, you can set that knee down, opening into that side plank. Inside of that right foot comes down, right arm opens up. Fabulous, fabulous. Go ahead and exhale, bring that right hand back down. If you would like to, you don't need to release that leg. You can bring it right into eagle. So from this crossed over, we're inchworming back. If you'd like to, you can set the left down next to the right. Either of those works. Go ahead and inchworm back so that we're standing at the back of the mat. If you left the leg crossed, you're already in eagle. So go ahead and find your balance. Sweep the arms up. If you have the left leg down, sweep it into chair. Nice. If you found chair, go ahead and stand up halfway, lift the left leg, cross it over, sink into that right knee. Left is on top, so left arm can come underneath for that eagle. Awesome. Next inhale, stands us up, releases the left leg, places it next to the right, swan dive it forward, forward fold. Inchworm it out, high plank position. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Three-legged dog, left leg, press it up and back, bend the right knee, sweep the left leg forward, plant it down, find your balance. Inhale sweeps us up, crescent. Warrior two, turn the right heel down, open the arms up. Flip the front palm, lift it up and back. Peaceful. Exhale brings us back out to center, warrior two. We've got that side lunge. So we're lengthening that left leg. We're bending the right knee as we lift the left toes off of the floor into that side lunge. Fabulous. Let's bring it back out to that warrior two. Lengthen the right leg, bend the left knee, take those arms out long, cartwheel it down. Left hand comes down, right hand comes down, right heel comes up. Step the right foot forward to meet the left, forward fold. Roll it all the way up, extended mountain. Lateral stretch in each direction. Right hand comes down, left arm comes up over top. Inhale through center. Left arm comes down, right arm comes up over top. Keep the elbows closed. Upward facing dog. Exhale, turns the toes over, hips up and back. We're back in that downward facing dog. We've just got to hit that second side one final time. Right foot up and back, three-legged dog. Half mountain climber, knee comes out between the elbows. You can place that knee down or you can cross it underneath. Side plank brings the inside of that left foot down, that left arm comes up. Nice big inhale for a lot of length here. Exhale, plants that left hand down, turns those left toes back under. Option here to place that right foot down next to the left or to keep it crossed. We're inchworming those hands back when you've reached one of those options. So we're bringing it to standing at the back of the mat. If you're in that eagle with those crossed over legs, find your balance. If you have that right foot next to the left, sweep into chair. If you found chair, go ahead and stand up halfway. Cross that right leg over the left, sink into it. Right leg's on top, so right arm comes underneath. Fabulous. Big inhale stands us up tall, plants the right down next to the left. Exhale, swan dives us forward, forward fold. Inchworm it out nice and long. Press the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Final time, right foot up and back, three-legged dog. Take it nice and long, bend the left knee, sweep the right foot forward, plant it down. Find your balance. We're in crescent. Sweep the arms up. Warrior two, turns our left heel down, opens those arms. Peaceful, flips the front palm, lifts it up and back. Exhale back up to center. Side lunge, brings that right leg long, bends into that left knee, lifts those right toes. Bring it back out to that warrior two. Bend the right knee, open those arms, lengthen the left, cartwheel it down, right hand, left heel. Step the left forward to meet the right, forward fold. All the way up to extended mountain. Take it up vertebrae by vertebrae, up long. We're finishing out this first meeting with our lateral stretches. Right hand comes down, left arm comes up over top. Inhale brings us through center. Exhale, left arm comes down, right arm comes up over top. Inhale, getting back to center, nice long arms, and exhale just circles them down and around. So still standing up nice and tall. Alrighty, so for this second one, we are going to use, I'm going to be facing the long edge of my mat, which is facing the camera. So we'll do a couple wide-legged poses that'll take us into some lunges. So if you need to make any adjustments or if you need to kind of face a little bit differently as we get going, that's totally fine. I will stay facing you the whole time. So if you do change it, it's not like you'll be facing away from me. But if you prefer, or if you have the space to only have it facing, so the short edge is facing the screen, that also totally works. So let's start in our mountain pose. And let's just start with 4 nice deep breaths. We're going to lead with those arms. So as we inhale, we'll take them out and up. And as we exhale, we'll take them down and around just to get us back centered and back ready to go. So let's get going here. Big inhale, brings those arms out and up towards the ceiling for that nice big stretch. And that exhale circles them down and around. 3 more times, just like that. Our inhale brings us out and up. Our exhale brings us down and around. 2 more. And last one. Alrighty, fabulous. I'm going to take my feet just slightly wider, so they're a little bit wider than the shoulders. And I'm just going to go into a nice, easy spinal twist. I'm going to reach my opposite arm to the opposite side of the room. I'm going to release my opposite heel. There we go. That was the word I was looking for. So I'm going to take my left arm. I'm going to reach it up. I'm going to release my left heel off the ground for a nice big stretch all the way through the left side of the body. And then I'm just going to switch nice and easy back and forth. So right arm lifts, right heel lifts. And then just kind of take this at your own pace. So if you need a little bit deeper of a stretch, you can take it. Or if you want to move a little bit quicker, you can kind of flow a little bit faster side to side. Just make sure you find that long spine through center, so we're not tweaking anything in the back or putting any extra pressure on the discs of the spine. Taking a couple moments here. Let's find about 3 more nice deep breaths. And last deep breath, just evening out. Make sure you hit that second side and then bring it on back to center. When you get back to center, we're going to take the feet a little bit wider. So I'm going to take them, again, wider than the shoulders, but just a little wider here. Toes are still going to point forward. The feet are parallel with each other here. We will adjust that in just a moment. But we're going to start with a little bit of a circular range of motion. So I'm going to have you reach those arms up towards the ceiling. There can be a slight bend in those knees. And we're just going to kind of circle it down and around. So I'm going to take my hands over to the right, bringing them down to that right foot. And then I'm going to let my chest kind of collapse through center. My fingertips come down through center over to those left toes. That's where we're going to pause. It's just going to be a 3/4 of a circle. I want you to bring it back through center, around to those right toes, and back up to nice and long. From there, we'll switch sides. So we're going to take it all the way over, down to those left toes. Let the chest come through. Let the shoulder collapse in, down through center, over to the right toes, back over to the left toes, around and up. We're just going to do that 1 more time in each direction. So nice big circular range of motion all the way over to the right. Bringing it down through center, nice stretch all the way to the left toes, back through center and up. And all the way across the center, down in that opposite direction. 1 more time to finish out and even up. All the way through over to those right toes, back through center, around, and up to those nice long arms. When you get to the top, we're going to fold it forward. So I want you to hinge at the hips. Take the hips backwards as we bring the fingertips down towards the floor. Now from here, we're going to take a couple moments in this stretch. There can still be a slight bend in those knees if you need it. And then wherever those fingertips reach to is fabulous. So if you don't quite have the floor, I want you to exhale to try and bring them down towards the floor. If you have the fingertips at the floor, but the palms aren't down, I want you to try and exhale to bring the palms closer to the floor. If you can reach the floor with your palms pretty easily, go ahead and face those fingertips towards that back wall in between those legs and walk them backwards to just deepen through this stretch a little bit more. So wherever you are, we're just looking for that exhale to take us a little bit deeper into this fold. Give me one more nice deep breath, finding one more big exhale, take it a little deeper. And then that next inhale, go ahead and roll it on up to standing. All right, like I said, we're gonna adjust those feet just slightly. So I'm gonna lift my heels, I'm gonna turn them in so that the toes point out just slightly. The knees point out in the same direction as the toes, not super wide. And we're gonna find our star to goddess squat. So I want you to take those arms up nice and long while those legs are long. We're gonna cactus the arms as we bend at the knees. So exhale brings us down into that goddess squat, cactusing the arms, bending those knees, and then inhale takes us up nice and tall. We're gonna find 3 more of those. Exhale brings us down into it, nice and deep into that squat. Inhale stands us up tall. 2 more just like that. Exhale into it. Pull the shoulder blades together. Inhale up tall. Last time, exhale into it. Inhale to up nice and tall, fabulous work. Exhale folds us forward, back into that forward fold. I want you to walk those fingertips over to those right toes. We've got a nice stretch here, taking that both of those legs nice and long as we get going in this stretch. And then we're going to transition this into our low lunge. So I want you to take those right toes, turn them towards the short edge of the mat. Bring the left heel up, we're in that lunge. From here, we're going to drop that left knee to meet the mat. And we've got our little front to back stretch. So I want you to exhale to press those hips forward into that hip flexor stretch, our low lunge. I want you to inhale to press the hips backwards, lift those right toes, and lengthen that right leg. A couple times each direction here. Exhale brings it forward. Inhale brings it back. And one more time each way. Our exhale brings it forward. Our inhale brings it back. And then we'll meet low in that forward lunge. So bringing it back, fingertips just meet the mat. And we're going to bring it up to our crescent. So go ahead and turn those left toes under. We'll lift that knee, find your balance, sweep the arms up. We've got that nice bend through that left knee. We're trying to get that right knee. We're trying to get that left leg as long as it can go. Now we're going to kind of almost come into our warrior two. So I want you to turn that left heel down. And then rather than opening up, we're going to turn those right toes to face. And we're back to that centered position. Let's take it back to that star to goddess. Adjust those feet if you need to. Inhale takes us up tall. Exhale bends into it. Inhale up nice and tall. Exhale into it. Awesome. 2 more just like that. Inhale up. Exhale down. And inhale up. Exhale down. And last time, inhale to take us up. Let's fold it forward, fingertips towards the mat. Walk them over to those left toes this time. Nice stretch here, keeping both of those legs long. And then let's transition over to that lunge. Left toes turn out to face the short edge. Right heel lifts up. Let that right knee meet the mat. We've got our front to back. Exhale presses us forward. Inhale lifts us backwards. Lift those left toes. Exhale presses us forward. Inhale lifts us backwards. Last time, exhale is going to press us forward. Inhale is going to lift us backwards. And then we'll meet in that low lunge. So go ahead and press it forward. Turn those right toes under, lift the right knee, sweep it up into our crescent. Finding your balance there. Fabulous. We're going to bring it back to center, same way, almost into that warrior two. So turn that right heel down. And then when you get there, just go ahead and turn those left toes around. Again, make that adjustment if you need to. My heels come a little bit more parallel than I want them to be. Let's take it again. We've got one more time each direction. Here's our star. Exhale into goddess. Inhale up. Exhale, bring it down. There's 2 of 4. Inhale brings us up. Exhale into our third. Inhale up. Exhale down into our fourth. And our inhale stands us up nice and tall. Fold it forward with that exhale. Fingertips towards the mat, and then take them over towards those right toes for that nice big stretch. Let's go ahead and change it to that lunge. Turn those right toes out, lift that left heel up, let that left knee meet the mat. We've got our front to back. We're just gonna do 2 times in each direction for this one. So our exhale presses us forward. Our inhale presses us backwards. With those front toes, hinge forward at those hips for that hamstring stretch. Go ahead forwards once again with that exhale. We've got one more time backwards. And then we'll meet in that low forward lunge. That'll transition us up to our crescent. So turn those left toes under, lift that left knee, sweep those arms up when you find your balance into our crescent lunge. Fabulous, let's take it back to center, turn that left heel down, turn those right toes around, make that adjustment if you need to on those feet. Let's find our starter goddess final time. Exhale brings us down for 1. Inhale takes us up. Exhale brings us down for 2. Inhale takes us up. Exhale for 3. Fabulous work, you guys. Looking good, looking good. Inhale up. And our last time, our exhale takes us into it. And our inhale takes us up. When you get to the top, fold it forward. And let's take those fingertips over to those left toes. Find that nice stretch with those 2 long legs. And then let's turn it out to that lunge. Left toes turn out, right heel comes up, right knee meets the mat. Let's exhale forward. Once again, we've got twice in each direction. So our inhale takes us backwards. Hamstring stretch hinges forward at those hips. Exhale presses us forward. We've got one more time back into that hamstring stretch. So that inhale brings us back, lengthens that front leg. And our last time, exhale presses us forward into that low lunge. Fabulous work. Turn those right toes under, lift that right knee, find your balance. Inhale sweeps us up. Awesome, let's take this transition back to center. So turn that right heel down and bring those left toes around, make that adjustment. And we're going to find just that circular range of motion, twice more in each direction. So fingertips are gonna come down towards those right feet, around to the left toes, back through center over to the right toes, and up. Through center, we've got that second side, down to the left, around through center, over to the right, back through center, and up. One more time, each direction to finish us out here. Down to that right side, around, over to the left toes, back through center, and up. And then the last time just brings us to that second side, bringing it down, cave into it, around through center, and then back around and up. Give me a big exhale to bring those arms down. Bring it into our mountain pose. Feet right underneath those hips. In this position, we're going to find 2 deep breaths. We've got a couple moments left for Shavasana, so we'll finish out with that, and then we will be done for the evening. 2 nice deep breaths, lead with those arms, big inhale out and up. Exhale down and around. Last one just like that. Inhale brings us out and up. And our exhale brings us down and around. Alrighty, fabulous. We've got a couple of moments for that Shavasana. I want to invite you to find any position that feels comfortable for you as we move forward this evening. You can be down on your back, you can be down in child's pose, you can be in that comfortable seated. Maybe you've got a nearby wall and you'd like to do legs up the wall. I invite you to find that comfortable position for these last couple of minutes. When you get into that comfortable position, whatever it may be, I want to invite you to first find any range of motion that might feel good. So if you're down on your back, maybe it's extending the arms up overhead and the legs out long. Maybe it's rocking the head nice and easy side to side. If you're in that child's pose, maybe you walk those arms over to the right and left. And if you're in that comfortable seated, maybe it's a spinal twist or a lateral bend, whatever that and I invite you to find for the next 4 nice deep breaths. Two more to finish out that range of motion that feels good, that position or pose that feels particularly good this evening. And then when you finish, I just want you to bring it to a place of stillness that feels comfortable. Even if it doesn't look like what you think your Shavasana normally would, I want you to make sure that that nice moment of stillness feels comfortable for the body, maybe a little looser, a little closer in than it might be. And then I want you to finish off here with that scan of the body that we started. So starting again from the top of the head, maybe the tips of the fingers if they're up over your head, moving all the way down through the body, noticing once again how you feel, whether it's different than it was as we started or whether it's the same as it was when we started. And again, without any judgment, because you guys just did an hour of hard work, and I'm so proud of you for being here, and you should be proud of your body for showing up and for getting through our practice this evening. So whether it's feeling a little bit tired and sore, or whether it's feeling energized, wherever you're at, just making sure that you appreciate your body for what it can and does for you every day. When you finish that scan of the body, a little bit of gratitude. I want you to take a moment to find that little bit of extra release. Any tension that's still there through the jaw, through the fingers, the toes. With that next exhale, just allow it to let go, release and relax. We're going to find 2 more nice inhales and exhales in our stillness here. After that second exhale, we're going to find some tension. So with your next inhale, I want you to make your body nice and long. Maybe you stretch the arms overhead. Maybe you take the legs out long if they weren't. Find out a little bit of stretch and tension like you just woke up. And then that exhale, go ahead and pull it towards center. So maybe you press back towards the child's pose. Maybe you pull the knees in towards the chest. Maybe it's a fold forward if you're seated. Make that adjustment to come towards your center. If you're on your back or on your side or on your belly, I invite you to roll to your favorite side and bring it up to that comfortable seated position with that next inhale. If you're seated, go ahead and adjust if you found that fold forward. Finding that comfortable seated position and finishing out with my gratitude to you for joining me this evening. I love having you guys here. I love finishing off every Monday this way. And so finishing off with one nice deep breath, meeting those palms up overhead. Big inhale brings us out and up. Palms meet right up overhead, and exhale pulls the hands down to heart center. The light in me honors the light in you, bowing as we say, namaste.